All right, welcome to another episode from the chart readers. Man, MVIS is just on the line, man. It is doing its best to hold this 50. All right, really has to get over the 20 for me to really feel comfortable, right? But just so much going on in this like small little window right here. VIRI. Okay, I actually felt bad because someone asked about VIRI like a couple days ago too, and I said I was gonna give you something. I for sure didn't, and like it delivered today. So hopefully you were able to drop the hammer with it today. But VIRI is looking good, and for real, VIRI has me wondering if we're gonna at least start to take some of the rest of the gap fill. So VIRI actually looks badass. All right, soundhound does not look good. All right, and really sad to see what's happened there, but yeah, we'll at least cover that one. I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna have time for MBOT and MVOS. If I do, I'll cover them here. If not, I'll break them out on another one. But before we go any further, what are we gonna do? Same thing we always do, right? Whoops, I gotta pause. All right, you might have heard me say oops, I had to close some stuff. So before we go any further, what are we gonna do? Same thing we always do, right? We're gonna take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things is setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we will use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video all over the internet, comment good or bad. Hey, if you disagree with me, I'm not here to hate on you, I swear, all right? Anything you can do really does help, but for real, just being here and giving me your time, super, super appreciated, all right? So look, let's get into it. And I'll be honest, I was a little pessimistic on MVIS, all right? The main thing I was saying was keep an eye on the NASDAQ, all right? And again, NASDAQ had this scare, so far so good, all right? And I think that's a lot of what we're seeing with MVIS. Scare, so far so good, right? End of the day, MVIS is no better than the NASDAQ, all right? You have to know that, all right? I know that there's a lot, like, I mean, look at this thing. I know that there's a lot that this can do when things are well. But again, remember, the NASDAQ was doing well during this as well, right? So our goal here with this stock is to just hold on to the NASDAQ as it goes. And again, looking back at the NASDAQ, the goal really is we've actually bounced off the 20 and we're gonna keep going up, all right? Because the same theories I tell you on the regular stock happen here. We bounce on the 8, we bounce on the 8, we bounce on, oh no, we've lost the 8. Hey, the 20's here to help us. Oh no, hey, the 20's here to help us. Hey, the 20's here to help us. Let's keep back going up, right? Like it works for a stock like MVIS, right? Unfortunately, we couldn't bounce that well here, right? But yeah, we were bouncing on the 8. We wanted to use the 20 here, but unfortunately we failed it. And now again, the goal is get over the 20, all right? I think this is the really easy money line. If you're a little aggressive, I think this could be a money line for 447 that does look to be over this right here, which is sitting at 444. You know, I like me some 50% candles. That's an interesting 2 line right there. But yeah, I think I like this. I think I will actually set that alert. I think I'll even go a penny lower. I think we can go 156. I'll take it like around right there. Let me know 156. And honestly, we might be coming back up to 6. Because why? Green, red. Let's get over this little thing right here. And this little thing's pretty insignificant. I'll be real honest with you. You can really make yourself an entry right here at 445, 446, right? Like, I might be throwing away 10 cents like a fool if you want to know the truth. And as I'm saying all those words out loud, I think I'm going to go ahead and set a better alert at 447. Let's do that. Why am I going to throw away 10 cents, right? But I actually think if we can get over this right here specifically, it should be a real clean write up. But look, getting over this line is going to be a little difficult, all right? I didn't think it was going to happen here. Okay, let me say this. This isn't bad. All right, MACD is definitely close to the 0 line. It looks like it's more horizontal than it is going down. Like, this doesn't look too bad. This actually looks good. It looks like the two lines are diverging, which is a fancy word for going away from each other. 49 is a very healthy number. There's a lot this thing can do. My only issue is volume. All right, we at the minimum need to be at 7 million shares traded. That, roughly speaking, is 1 million shares per hour. If by the second hour you don't see us getting close to 3 million shares, I would be worried. Okay, you get what I'm saying? But this thing needs to break. 7 million is the 50-day average. That's a C. All right, I'm not asking you to do a B plus level volume or anything. Just get a C. Get me to 7 million shares. I'll believe that this will break at 7 million, and then from there, hopefully, it becomes real easy trading. All right, but this thing ran high. This thing got a really high RSI that was in the 90s. It cooled all the way down to an RSI at the 13s. I think we're ready to go back up. I do, actually. Do I think we're going to get back into the 90s and sit? I'll be honest, I don't know. Will I be ready for it if it happens? Yeah, I will, for sure, because let's look at the weekly, all right? I've talked about this 508 number so much, and for real, if 508 breaks, that puts you over all the moving averages on the weekly. That obviously puts you over all the moving averages on the daily, and just look at the weekly after this line. Red, 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 till basically here. Again, at this line, let's skip this. Green, 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 again, all the way up to here. Break 508, and for real, we'll be talking about 14 in no time. Obviously, we'll take it slow and steady. You know I'm not here to hype you ridiculously, right? Like, that's not my goal here. That's not how I get my views. Number one is 508. Like, this needs to break definitively, and I think that means coming to this. From there, yeah, if we can break this, we should go to this. If we break this, we should go to that, right? Like, that's what I'm hoping for. And again, that's a really nice low 60, right? So that could happen over a number of weeks, right? Because again, we're looking at the weekly chart over a number of weeks. I'm not here saying that that's going to fly over days or do silly things like this unless it gives me reason to think that, right? So but yeah, again, I'm liking MVIS. I will like it way more over this line. I will love it over 508, all right? But glad to see it's holding the 50. Glad to see we're also like not oscillating under the 50. We're just kind of bouncing on it. That's cool. That shows strength of the 50 as a support, right? Like we've hit it once hard. We've hit it twice hard. We've actually, like, you know, I like that. That's cool to see, all right? Let's go to VIRI. Let's go to VIRI. Let's go to VIRI. And look, I've said it so many times, man. Good things happen over the 8 and the 20. Good things happen when these two lines are your friends. We lost them both. I very much started to look away. Again, your risk tolerance could be different things, right? This bounce on the 8 and the 20 in the next couple days after was nice, for sure. For me, today was nice. Today got over this. Today broke 166. And I will be honest with you, I'm back in VIRI. I rarely tell you guys and girls what my money's in, all right? I'm not here pretending I'm the best trader in the world. And like, I would hate for you guys to be like, oh man, he has money in this, I should put, like, that's not how it works. Because again, when I put my money in, I've got plans to escape if I'm wrong. I've got plans to escape and bank if it does well. Like, there's more to should I buy now? You know what I mean? But yeah, breaking 166, getting over this line, getting over as high as we did. Oh man, it was really easy to get in at 166 actually. So I obviously did not eat the full 18%, right? Because that's based on this. But yeah, it was nice. It was for sure, right? I got at least 10% looking at this thing. I don't know what my numbers are. Actually, did I even get 20% from that line? 166. Am I doing math wrong? Yeah, it's less than 20. I am doing math wrong. Okay, for sure. But nice. Either way, trust me, I'm happy. And more than anything, I don't think it's over. All right. And what am I really thinking about? I'm thinking about the rest of this if you really want to know the truth. All right. Because really at this point, okay, just kind of looking onward to the left, this is not that big a candle. We can say this is the biggest candle to the left for sure, but arguably speaking, that was this line. all right? This was the biggest candle to the left that actually confirmed. This one hit. I don't really see confirmation up here. And obviously this $2 line has nothing to do with any of that. This $2 line is the bottom of this, and at some point was based on the weekly. I believe it was the 50 moving average if I had to guess. So the $2 line I know actually matters because, again, VIRI, I'm telling you, is one of my trades of the year, right? And one more time, what am I looking at? I'm looking at a MACD that's holding the positive that wants to go up once I zoom in. From this view especially, you can see it. RSI looks like it's ready to go, and it's at a real low 40. Even if we only get to 73, that might be enough to run to like 250 actually, all right? And again, as I zoom in, you can see what hopefully starts to become that. And look, volume has dropped significantly, which sucks. It really does, but it made it way easier to break the 50 average line today, right? So is this going up after hours? Curious. It's not. It's actually going down. Again, you know I don't care too much about after hours, and it actually takes away from nothing, all right? Like, I still believe in a lot of it. Again, you can argue that 185, 186 is a interesting like entry point, but this is a big weekly, all right? We are very early in the week, don't get me wrong, but that's over two really important moving averages. That's holding the 8 moving average. And again, just look at this thing on the 50. It's been a long time since we've broken the 50. And when we broke it on the 50, we actually sustained it for a number of weeks, actually for a month plus, right? So this could be interesting. Again, this might say we want to come up here at the minimum. Like I said, I think what I'm hunting for is basically half of this. I think 250 is very realistic here. I like VIRI. I do, once again, all right? And again, good things happen over the 8 and the 20. I'm hoping the 8 and the 20 are ready to take back off, up again. So I'm liking this a lot, actually. VIRI, it feels good to like VIRI again. Man, SOUNDHOUND. Okay, first off, let me say this, all right? You know I love AI stocks. I did not have a past tense right there. I didn't say loved, okay? Definitely there's been a shift, and EVs are doing better than AI stocks. If you watch my videos, you know I am covering stocks like Mullen, stocks like Rivian, stocks like Nikola, stocks like Lucid. I am covering those way more free. I haven't talked about BBAI. I haven't talked about Bullfrog. I haven't talked about, what was the fourth? I can't even remember the fourth one. Bullfrog, BBAI, SOUNDHOUND. I can't remember the fourth one. And again, that just goes to show you where my mind is at. I am looking at EV stocks more, all right? And is what it is. But I'm telling you, AI is not going away, all right? I think a little bit of the hype I don't even want to say that because I don't think the hype is over just yet. But I think it's a little bit of the lull of the hype. Everyone shifted back to EV because EV was struggling while this thing ran. And yeah, I do believe that. Look, I don't think we're going to lose the 200 moving average. Let me just at least start there. I'm actually hoping we don't lose this line, all right? Because again, the cluster isn't as tight as it was, but I don't want these to recluster. That is not a good thing for this stock, all right? What I hope is what used to be a really hard line to break could be where we bounce and go. All right, that's what I can really actually see. I can see this coming to 3, maybe even not as low as 3, maybe 315 roughly with that 50 moving averages right there in the box over there. But look, we ran really high. We ran really, actually not that high, respectfully, actually. Yeah, that wasn't as high as I expected. But yeah, it's just AI is cooling off a little bit. EV is picking up, is what it is. The signals were pretty easy to see, and hopefully you made that move, right? But yeah, sad to see what looked like, and because believe me, I thought it was actually going to happen. What looked like possibly a break of 460 and a run to like 6 or 7. Believe me, I thought that this line was going to break. I think it was pretty easy to see that it wasn't going to happen. It became really evident that we lost the 8 and the 20. We're still under the 8 and the 20. And as nice as yesterday was, yesterday didn't break the 8. Yesterday didn't even get over this line. Today clearly reminded us of that. You know what I mean? So still not a good MACD, still not a good RSI. I'm not touching SOUNDHOUND until we get to here and see if it rebounds. You know what I mean? So we'll look at the weekly. Still actually not a bad weekly. It really isn't. But again, I think it goes back to, I don't think we'll get any lower than I don't think we're going to get into the 260s, 270s. I don't. All right. I cannot imagine we get this low. I hope we don't go any lower than 294 for real. Hopefully we, if lose the 50, use this line and then go up from there. All right. So soundhound, definitely a little bit sad to see, but you know, it is what it is. Let me throw MBOT in here. I still got a little bit of time. We only have 15 minutes. So look, what's happening with MBOT? MBOT's getting into a tight cluster of moving averages. I know this line's here. What's this line from? Because I might even delete it in all honesty. Yeah, I think I'm going to delete this line. We don't need this line anymore. Okay, so look. What really is this? I mean, there's no other thing to talk about than the 200 moving average. This thing needs to break 310. If it breaks 310, we're real happy. All right. I can see a MACD still actually diverging the wrong way, right? Like this green line still kind of going down. It might be seen, no, it's not even going that horizontal. Like these are still going further away from each other, right? We want green over red, not other way around. These are both saying the same thing actually. Red over green, that's not good. We want it other way around. This is going down, that's not good. This is going down, that's not good. And again, once I move away from this one single good day, volume's been shit. And I try not to curse a lot, but there's nothing else to say. We need it to be up here. This line is a C. We are in F. We're in Z plus range down here. You know what I mean? So there needs to be more interest in MBOT. I'm actually a little surprised we haven't fallen down here yet. I still think down here at 222 is a little more realistic than breaking 310. All right. This is becoming a tight horizontal cluster. A line of 3 is hard to break. Real quick, I just covered it so I know. ENZC. ENZC is living in this line of 3 for the last 3 weeks now. 1, 2, 3. I believe it's going to go into the 4th, maybe even 5th and 6th. You know what I'm saying? So MBOT, you don't want to get caught in this. You hopefully break this and run. Last thing you want to do is fall down here and die, right? So, hey, let me know your thoughts. Otherwise, as always, you know I appreciate your time. Thank you, thank you, thank you.